This is video homework for Tim Barron, Physics 229, Strength and Elasticity of Materials, problem 7.2-7. We're given a beam, and they give us the stresses acting on an element of the beam, and they want us to determine the stresses acting on an element of the beam when it's oriented at a counterclockwise angle of 38 degrees from the horizontal, and then show these stretches on a sketch. The assumptions that we're given is that there's a compressive stress in the horizontal direction of 14,500 psi, a compressive stress in the vertical direction of 2,530 psi, shear stress of 3,500 psi, and the angle that they want us to look at is 38 degrees. So to solve this problem, we're going to look at the given information, and we are going to use the transformation equations for plane stress to determine the stresses that are acting on the element when it's oriented at an angle of 38 degrees. Once we find those, we'll sketch the stresses on the element oriented at that angle. This problem is a straightforward plug and chug problem. You can see for the stress at x1 we get minus 13,539 psi, and for stress at y1 we get minus 3,671 psi. And then for the shear stress at that orientation we get 4,960 psi, and those numbers allow us to draw the new sketch with the 38 degree angle. In conclusion, we solved this problem by looking at the information that they gave us, and then we used the transformation equations for plane stress to determine the stresses on the element at 38 degrees. Then we were able to sketch the stresses on the element when it was oriented at 38 degrees. We can see once again the great strength of steel as it takes a stress of 13,539 psi.